Guru Granth Sahib Ji Vyakhya. Baramaha, Jeth. Translation and explanation. By Sonia Sodhi. The fourth pauri, verse, of Ragmaj Baramaha Enang 134, from Guru Granth Sahib, is recited for the month of Jeth, which falls roughly between May and June in the Nanak-Shahi calendar. This pauri, composed by Guru Arjan Dev Ji, encourages the reader to connect with the divine spiritually and emphasizes that only the remembrance of the divine can provide true solace and fulfillment. In the face of the fleeting nature of life, the pauri encourages individuals to establish a deep and unwavering connection with the Supreme Being. By embracing the divine name, the mind becomes purified, and one can attain spiritual liberation.
हर जेठ जुड़ंदा लोड़िए जिस अग्गे सब निवन.
In the month of Jeth, Jayatej, Guruji guides us to cultivate a deep connection with the Almighty, who reigns supreme and before whom the entire universe humbly bows. It is during this time that all beings acknowledge the greatness of the divine and bow in reverence and humility.
हर सज्जन दावन लग गया किसे न देई बन.
Davan comes from Hindi word daman, which translates to hem or border in English. It refers to the edge of low part of garment, such as hemline of a dress or border of a sari. One who has grasped the hem of the robe of the Lord, the true friend, no one can keep him in bondage. By holding to the Almighty's robe, knowing Him as the most loved friend, and staying in His shelter, no one can ever overpower such a person, because Almighty is a warrior and protects those in His shelter.
मानक मोती नाम प्रभ उन लगे नाही सन.
The name of the Almighty shines brighter than any gem or pearl and encompasses the essence of all worldly possessions. The virtues that are treasured, akin to valuable wealth, cannot be plundered or stolen. This signifies that the name of the divine and the godly virtues it encompasses are the true wealth that remains invincible, even in the face of death itself, i.e., which can never be taken away even by the angel of death.
रंग सबे नारायण ने जेते मन भावन.
In the Lord are all pleasures which please the mind. All the preferred delights which fascinates the mind belongs to Almighty. By singing the praises of Almighty, all the bliss which satisfies the mind comes along.
जो हर लोड़े सो करे सोई जी करन.
As the Lord wishes, so He acts, and so His creatures act. The being, Jeev, is able to perform only those deeds which Almighty wishes, and everything which happens in this world is in accordance with Almighty's wish.
जो प्रभ कीते आपने सेई कहिए धन.
They alone are called blessed, whom God has made His own. In other words, only those beings, Jeev, is worth to be praised whom the Almighty has accepted them as His own.
आपन लिया जे मिले बिछड़ क्यों रोवन.
If people could meet the Lord by their own efforts, why would they be crying out in the pain of separation? The root cause of all suffering lies in our self-imposed separation from the Almighty, as we mistakenly embrace worldly possessions as our own instead of recognizing our true belongingness and ownership with the Divine. Almighty is the one we belongs to and we own. The Almighty is the ultimate source to which we truly belong and possess. Question: how can we obtain Almighty? Guruji explains as follows.
साधु संग प्राप्ते नानक रंग मानन.
In the blessed company of the holy, meeting the Supreme Being, O Nanak, one experiences celestial bliss. Those fortunate souls who seek the companionship of saints are embraced by the Almighty and bestowed with everlasting joy and contentment.
हर जेठ रंगीला तिस तनी जिसके भाग मथन.
Through the month of Jeth, Guruji says that those obtains the blissful Almighty upon whose forehead such good destiny is recorded. Note, Bhag or fortune is being created from the deeds that one has performed during and before the lifetime, which determines all the happiness and sadness. In front of the Lord, all beings bow their heads, and in the month of Jeth, they desire to be in his feet. Those who remain in the company of his devoted saints are shielded from falling into the clutches of anyone, not even the messenger of death. Embrace the precious treasure of the Lord's divine name, for it can never be taken away. The creatures yearn and find solace in their deep connection with the Lord, realizing that when they are in the company of his devoted saints, they radiate beauty and joy.